I'll jump out and we'll find another game. But it should be okay. Looks like we've started off well, and spawning in the top left position of Return of the King, we do have the Teal Terran, sas.non. And down here in the bottom left position, we do have the Yellow Zerg, SK's Quantel. Let's just quickly put their positions in the overlay. And I'll just bring up the chat to make sure there's no problems. There is a 1 minute delay today, guys. I wanted to put a delay on, but not one which is a bit too long because it is me solo casting. So nice to have a little bit of audience interaction. You can use the code that will be in the top left of your screen, and that will allow you to see or to donate a single dollar to the prize pool. There are a maximum of 30 codes, so as you can see, the prize pool at the moment is $101, thanks to very generous donations from Gabriel Verlaine again, and from Dimian Broodwar. He came in with a $1 donation too, so you guys can make that $131 perfectly for free, no problems, all thanks to Matcherino supporting the tournament. So it should be a lot of fun, and yeah, I mean, we're just getting underway in our first game. Should be pretty cool. Now, one thing, there may be people who haven't seen Return of the King before. It was from the 2008 Incruit OSL Finals, where Stork beat Fancy, actually. It did come back for a SOSPA tournament, I can't remember the exact one, but there is an in-base island at all four corners of the map. It's a little bit hard to see down here, but as you can see, there is a mineral blocking it, and it is a very small mineral-only base, so pretty cool. It doesn't really come into play too much, but all in all, it's actually a pretty fun map. So looking forward to seeing how these players play on it, and what exactly we're going to see. So we do see a looks like a 12 hatch coming up from Quantel. Nothing too crazy. It looks like the drone scout did pass the SCV, so they know where each other spawns now. And it'll be very interesting. I'm actually quite interested to see exactly what both of them will do from here. We do see the pool coming up relatively normally, and I am going to drink part of this tea before it gets a bit too cold. I just need to actually check that I'm on the correct screen as well with my OBS, so just going to move that onto the screen. The funniest thing, guys, wow, we're actually going to see a bunker rush. This is a bit bold by Non. He may actually just be wanting Quantel to send some drones out to try and deal with it, but it doesn't look like he will do. The first Marine is on its way though, and is this going to be able to do any damage? I wouldn't have thought so. The drones have been pulled, and they should be able to hold off this base, this bunker rush even. The bunker does go up though, and this could be a little bit dangerous. He does need to catch this Marine, or he could find himself in a lot of trouble. Looks like the Marine will turn home, and that's going to be 100 minerals that aren't really doing anything, but we do see the drones going in to engage. This is a lot of lost mining time for Quantel for very little investment, or I say that and then all the SCVs have actually been pulled, at least 75% of them. Wow, that's actually not that many. But yeah, the Marines are out. If he kills a good number of drones here, he could be in an incredible position. The first Marine does go down, and the Lings are out. So this should be enough to handle this now. The SCVs are going to be sent back home, as you can see by the fact they're stacking up. And we should return to a fairly normal game. Although Non is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He only actually has 4 Marines to his name right now against 6 Zerglings. Now if these Lings get in a good position, they may be able to take down some of the Marines and could do some SCV damage, but we'll have to see. It looks like the Lings are going to try and attack in. They do get 1 Marine, 2 Marines, 3 Marines. They nearly get the 4th. They get the 4th as well. And this 5th Marine also goes down, so really nice trade there on the Lings. We see Non not adding any gas or anything just yet. He has been focused on getting this command center up. He will most likely add a second barracks to try and keep up with his Marine production, as he did lose so many. And yes, I am Golden Sail is taking the day off, being... I'm not going to say he's being selfish, because that's not true. He's just taking a break. He's always casting, so he does deserve a day off. Yeah, looks like we do have the lair coming up off of just 2 hatcheries. Another A bunch of Lings have actually been made to go and attack the Terran player, who is non in this situation. And how much damage is going to be able to do? There is a bunker. The Marines actually get out the bunker for some reason. Maybe to Stim, but I don't think Stim is finished. He doesn't even have enough gas, I don't think, yet. His gas isn't even finished. There we go, no Academy. The Lings are on top of the SCVs. They're doing so much damage. 2 more Marines do pop up from where the bunker is, but he's taken so much SCV damage now, and it's going to be so hard for him to actually come back in this game. With the 2 hatcheries now up, he is scouting everything that's going on. The lair is finished. Do we have a Spire just yet? No, we do not, but we should have relatively shortly. More so focused on his link control, just trying to kill as many SCVs as possible. And looks like Faust is catching up with everything that's going on. Of course, if you've just tuned in, there is a minute delay. That's just to try and stop any stream cheating shenanigans, or at least accusations. I trust people enough not to do it, but I guess you've always got to be careful. And of course, this is the 12th Clash Royale. We do see the Spire coming up now. It's nearly halfway done, and this is going to be perfect for Non to scout, but is he going to be able to actually get enough to deal with it? Quantel isn't going all in with this, so he is adding a 3rd hatchery. He's still been droning up as well. He's actually got quite nice saturation across both of his bases, perhaps not in the main, actually adding on some more drones now before the Spire finishes, so maybe doing, rather than a 2-hatch muta, this is kind of a strange... It's kind of a strange 3-hatch muta where you just get the 3rd hatchery after the Spire. I suppose it's a little bit more economically viable. You do get those extra drones. You don't feel like you're forced to go all in. We see the 2 barracks up for Non right now. He is just trying to replenish his Marine count that has been completely decimated. Twice actually. Looks like he will send out a Marine here to check for this 3rd drone. This is actually really clever. And this will block, well, it won't block the expansion, it won't get there quick enough, but it will at least scout what's going on. Now this drone, gonna put down this this 4th hatchery even at the base. I'm not sure he knows where the expansion is, which is kind of funny, but there we go, maybe just checking around for any kind of crazy proxy shenanigans, which most likely you wouldn't see out of a Terran player, but is Non actually going to be able to scout this? It looks like he does check the island. Interestingly, it's not actually high ground, so you can actually get vision over it. You can see this in his base as well. There's just like a chasm you can't walk over. But still, pretty cool map. We see a lot of missile turrets going up at both bases. The Mutalists are out on the map, and funnily enough, they do get forced to send to deal with a single Marine. And it's a bit of a reaction to pull every single Mutalist there, but I guess at the end of the day, you just have to get everything up and ready. He needs to secure that 3rd base eventually, and it looks like now he will be going on the offensive. Now Non is in a bit of an interesting situation. He's had to overbuild turrets. He's got 3 turrets at his barracks, 3 at his main mineral line, and wow, 5 turrets at his natural. Maybe he didn't get a chance to scout that 3rd hatchery in time and thinks he's going in. We see a scan going down. That actually checks both the bases. He should really cancel that turret, but he doesn't really get enough time to check everything that's going on, but his Marine count has been decimated so many times, and that's going to be a big problem. It looks like the Mutalists are coming in. How is the Mutalist micro going to be? +1 is going to be a ways off yet. Only recently started, actually. Looks like he's going to try and do as much damage as he can, trying to take down the supply depot. But unfortunately for him, the bunker is in range of that, so really nice placement, but it will eventually go down, and that's a bit of free guaranteed damage for the Zerg player. Now, one thing I'm hoping this week, and this is going to sound really weird, supposedly, when I get excited, rather than talking any quicker, I actually just sort of higher the pitch of my voice, so hopefully I'll start talking a little bit quicker, but one thing I need to make sure I do is actually just make sure that I don't overkill my voice, because I am solo casting, and there could be a lot of games coming, and I sure as heck hope there are, because more games is more fun, you know? We see another couple of scans going down. He scans the natural, does see the Queen's Nest. This is a very important scout for him. Looks like the Mutas are going to try and go in and do some more damage. Do pick off a couple of Marines. But he needs to be careful. Losing 2 muteless there, I think. Maybe that was 1. I wasn't actually looking down here in the bottom right, but need to make sure I'm sticking on top of that. It's kind of funny when you go from casting with Sail. I casted the Gambus Cup with him yesterday, and I forgot that I didn't need to observe anything, so I wasn't really paying attention. We see yet another scan going down on this base, just to make sure what's going on. The Mute is still being annoying, taking and trying to do as much damage as possible. Really nice damage being dealt here by Quantel, forcing Non to stay back in his base while he does get that Hive Tech, the all-important Hive Tech up, and his third base saturated. Just look at the amount of drones over here already, even adding a Sunken just for good measure. Quantel has actually decided to skip Lurkers entirely, going entirely into Muteless. Now, does this mean he's actually getting air upgrades? Yes, he is. +1 is done for the Glaive Worm, so that's +1 attack on these Muteless. They're going to scout out this SCV, and they'll be able to kill that as well, as long as he pays attention. Looks like he does notice it, but took him a little bit, maybe on move command. Another scan going down on the front, just seeing exactly if there's any units or any Lurkers out there. Wow. We actually saw Non kill some of his own units, so he could actually build, I think he must be building another... no, he must have been building... Wait. He killed... Why did he kill 2 Marines to build SCVs? That would be very strange, especially when he wants to push out. But he's just taken so much damage. We actually see a pause. Hopefully there's no lag. Unfortunately, I can't talk to them. Even if there is... Oh, sorry, go. Here we go. And we're back. It looks like the Mule is still being annoying as possible. Now, what is the Hive Tech choice going to be? No Spire just yet, but there is now Double Evolution Chamber. And here is the Ultralis Cavern. Interestingly, it's in the only place that Non has been scanning this entire game. So, a bit unfortunate for him there, as in Quantel. But even scouting this, I'm not really too sure what Non can do. We do see he is only now getting his 5th barracks. He has 1 factory which have been pumping tanks, and he does have his vessels ready. But how is he going to take a 3rd base? It's going to be so difficult for him. His bio are now at 1-0. The Muteless are at 1-0 as well. And we do see this 4th base coming up as well from Quantel, just in the other side of the map, forcing the units of Non to go in all different directions to try and punish this, and this is only going to benefit his late Ultralisks. So we do see an extra 2 barracks coming up. That will put him up to 6 barracks. It looks like Ling's actually moving in. He snipes the first vessel. Such a nice move. And unfortunately for Non is in dire straits. He actually scans again. I didn't quite catch where that scan went. But here we go. We see the move out. Is there going to be enough bio here? +1 is done. 1 Muteless does go down. And Quantel's supply, even though he's been in such a commanding position this entire game, is actually not as high as you'd think it is. It is higher than the Terran, so it shows how ahead he is. And we do see an extra hatchery coming up over here. Another scan does go down from Non, checking both the corner bases there, actually scouting out both mains. We see Sunkens defending the natural Ultras there as well. Another couple of Ultras will pop out. Now, how much damage can this army from Non do? There's not realistically all that much here to defend. The Ultras are only on +1 carapace, no +1 attack, no Ultras upgrades done for them just yet. And the Muteless are looking like they're going to move in, try and take out some of the reinforcements, but the main fight is here. How much damage can Quantel do here? Can Non do even? Non has got so much bio, and the Ultras are all getting caught up on the tank, not really doing too much damage. But here come the Muteless in the back. We see some target firing from Non, taking down all the Muteless, but this leaves the Ultralisks in perfect position to take down all of the bio. They've now got their Ultras carapace upgrade as well. And that move certainly played a big part in that engagement. Non is in such a terrible position. He's sending his Vulture over here to try and do some damage with some Marines. This is going to take out all of the drones over here. So really nice move. And thank you, Tryhard, for pointing out there is $30 worth of codes that you can donate. Just put in the code and that will add a single dollar to the prize pool. Worth doing that. Thank you to Matarina once again. And it looks like this base is actually going to go down, but here we go, the big army coming in from Quantel, sending a Ling in first just to clear up any mines. Nice move, now actually sending an Ultralisk in. Is Non even going to be able to hold on here? The Ultralisk going down really quickly. 1-1 is now finished. Where is the rest of the units though? Quantel's army seems incredibly small. We actually see the 4 eggs over here now morphing. One into a drone. Gonna try and save that and build a hatchery a little bit later. The Ultras do clean everything up. And looks like we will go back to a bit of a pacifist situation here. It looks like the scan has gone down to try and see where the army is. The army's now coming in from both sides. Now this is going to be a very good for Quantel, who is finding himself 40 supply up right now. Looks like we do have 2-1 now on the Lings, 4-1 on the Ultralisk, and here comes the big Death Bush. I'm not sure Nod will be able to hold on. He's trying to micro back, but there's just so many Ultralisks. The D-Matrix does go down on the tank, but sieging it when the Ultralisk surrounding it is not going to help, and Irradiate goes down as well. But all of the units from Non have been cleaned up, and Quantel will take the first game in this series. Really nicely played there by Quantel, knocking Non back onto his main base for ages. Wait, hold on. I need to actually update this. I've just realised my stream has got the wrong title. Okay, so let's go into the next game. Hopefully they know it's a best of 3. Yeah, let's just quickly bring up the maps for this best of 3, just so everyone knows exactly what map's going to be next, just while I join this next game. Let's just see if he wants me to host as well. By the way, just while... Okay, so I'm actually hosting this. One thing I was going to say is if you do want to check out some of the player first-person views as well, some of the players are actually streaming their first person, so do check out their streams as well as the main casting stream. That'd be awesome for them. At the moment it looks like Scan, Eon and Mers are streaming, so if you want to check any of those games and they're not on the main stream, please do go and check them out. I am just going to host up Camelot for the players. It is a 2-player map, so should be pretty fun. This is probably the newest map in the pool. It's one of the newer maps overall. It was actually from ASL 3, so fairly recent. Going to be a lot of fun to see some games on this. Did see a lot of games in ASL 3 on this, and it was even in some foreign tournaments for 4. So at least people know exactly what's going on with it, and that should be cool. Okay, so let's bring up the game screen and we can actually jump straight into the next game. Okay, we're back on the right screen. We are back on the right screen. Let us jump into this next game. Looks like both of them are ready. Quantel with the first win. Hopefully that's actually going to update the overlay and nothing's broken. That is completely the case. They've both said go. Let's get going. Okay, spawning in the top left position, the 10 o'clock position here, is the man trying to claw his way back into the series. Will need to win 2 games in a row to stay in the tournament. It is the Blue Terran, sas.non. And down here in the bottom right position of this 2-player map, it's the man up, needing 1 game to move on to the next round. It's the Yellow Zerg, SK's Quantel. Just realised I got the colours wrong the wrong way. There we go. All good. Hopefully all the overlay is up to date and ready. It's very possible, by the way, that a couple of people got walked over. I know a couple of people didn't show up in time, and there is a 15-minute walkover rule, so if your opponent doesn't show up within 15 minutes without informing you, if they inform you and you agree, then that's fine, but you can walk over. This is a 2-player map, so both players will know where the other is spawned. As you can see, very interesting map features here, and it's why it's one of my favourite newer 2-player maps. Not sure about the wall. I've not been able to keep up entirely with the bracket, of course, while casting. When I'm co-casting, it's a little bit easier. Looks like Non is just going to be as annoying as possible. Try and block this hatchery from going down. So nicely played by him. Will need to be careful. He needs to keep this SCV alive for as long as possible. Otherwise, he may have a few problems a little bit later on. But even blocking his own hatchery with the drone now. It's kind of hard to do this micro. A really nice usage of the SCV here. Now, back in his base, he is adding the barracks. This does, I believe, form a link type wall, but I get the feeling it would be better with just the 1 depot, 1 barracks. But here we go. Looks like he will scout that there is a pool, has been thrown down. And yeah, we do see just some just relatively normal starts. Looks like it will be a 1 Rax expand for Non this time. Although he is going to have to be careful. He does know that this spawning pool will be a little bit earlier. He did force the spawning pool by blocking this hatchery for so long. So kind of interesting that he would go for the 1 Rax FE after this. But I suppose when you don't get the gas, there's not really too much you can do about it. It looks like the SCV just scouting around, gonna try and see if he can see the link count. This is going to be a very important thing for him to do. Now, one nice thing that he's doing here is actually creating a semi-wall here with his depot. This is very normal, but very, very important in TVC if you're going for that 1 Rax expand, or you could be in a lot of trouble. Looks like the SCV going to try and move around, but Quantel doing a pretty good job actually of moving his links to try and stop it. If it can take this down, this would be very important. It does see everything that's going on in the base, so it does see the 3rd hatchery. Doesn't see the drone count at the natural, but the drone count, or the hatchery, has of course just finished. So there we go. By the way, I do know there is a player called Cancer X. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but Lancer X is in the tournament as himself, so I guess we'll see by how they do. We can maybe work out what it is. Maybe it'll be the same guy as Sales Bald Head from a couple of weeks ago, who is Cadenzi's dog normally. It seems like a name they would use. Looks like the SCV going to come back in. I think he did a sort of flash style scout where you actually move in range of the minerals and send the 2nd SCV beforehand. Looks like the drone is going to try and stop it, but no, the SCV will get in and it's going to scout this all important lair timing. But what has he got back at home? He has the bunker in place, so the Lings aren't going to be able to do too much. but there is quite a lot of links here actually. If he catches these Marines are coming out. This could actually be pretty bad for Non. He needs to be careful. He can't lose these Marines like he did last time. 2 of them, 3 of them have gone down. And that's a pretty good trade for our Zerg player. It looks like Non is now adding his factory, so going for a delayed 1-1-1, most likely off of the back of this. This will give him vultures early on, at least to help against things. And this SCV is still alive, not opting to build any additional links to try and kill this, just giving it a complete scout of the base. And yeah, this is not the best situation for Non to be in once again. His 1-1-1 is going to be very delayed, but no, it's not a 1-1-1. He is going for a mech build. Now, there's a lot of builds you can actually do off the back of this. One of the most common that we usually see, not so much anymore, but especially in the heyday of fantasy, like 2010 era, one of the big builds that a lot of Terrans would actually use was 3-factor Goliath, and we do see the 2 factories at the moment. Looks like there'll be a third one coming up here. Is there an armory? No, there's an academy, interestingly enough, but there is the armory. So yeah, this is going to be a 3-factory Goliath push. This can actually completely hard counter a Zerg who is going Ling all in, and also Muteless, because it's going to be less strong against Muteless builds as, say, like a Valkyrie would be, but Valkyries aren't that good against 3-hatch Muter anyway. Looks like we do have the Overlord checking out these 2 side disruptors. I really like this map feature. They look really cool. It does create that small ramp there to help defend. Looks like the Lings are just going to be kind of annoying. Move around. We see the drone count is pretty healthy at both of the Zerg spaces. Looks like that's the Overlord again. We do actually have a drone scout checking around for some kind of hidden base, maybe looking to take hidden base himself. Looks like maybe he thought this was going to be an island in the top right, but found out it wasn't, so does send it back. Now, that would be an incredibly difficult base to hold. If he'd have built the hatchery there, look at this one ramp, and look how close it is to the Terran's natural. That would not be a good base for him to be taking. This will most likely be for Goliath range. We do have Goliaths coming out of the 3 factories. We actually see them popping out exactly at the right time. Interestingly, he's not building at his 3rd factory. He needs to make sure he's building constant Goliaths, or this push does lose a lot of its lackluster. Wait, that's the wrong word, but it loses a lot of its pushing power, should I say. We see the Muteless are now out on the map. We see a scan going down on the natural. Just see exactly what's going on now. Interestingly, Quantel once again leaving his tech in his natural for some reason. And these Muteless are going to be pretty much hard countered by these turrets and the Goliaths. Not going to be able to really do too much. One of the best things about going for this 3-factory Goliath push, with a little bit of bio mixed in, is it does give you a very mobile anti-air force with a very high range. And it looks like one of the Muteless has gone down, traded, actually 2 of the Muteless gone down, 3 of the Muteless, 4 of the Muteless even. And this is not a good trade for Quantel, throwing away too many of his very important tech units early on, which he does need to delay the Terran as he goes up to Hive. Interestingly, no Hydralisk then again, so Quantel's showing he's not a very big fan of Lurkers. And look at that scan! That scan went down immediately as the hatchery finished. Really nice scan there by Non. Both players just sort of building up. We see a 4th factory going up for our Terran player. The 3rd base is finished. I really don't understand how Quantel can play this without Lurkers though, but I guess he has his style. I mean, I have my many styles that I play on ladder. They don't always work. I guess the thing is, I guess it's kind of normal. It's just against a bio player. You can get pretty much hard countered here by +1 5 racks. Maybe doing this as a reaction to the fact he knows that he's not going for the +1 5 racks, but he will need to be incredibly careful. There's no upgrades, I don't believe. Yeah, there is a +1 upgrade coming up for the Goliaths, but it's not finished. Stim and range should be done at this point. Just sort of mixing in bio, just to sort of supplement his Goliath force. Does make it a little bit stronger. But he's going to need to be careful. There's a lot of Lings and Muteless out on the map. The Muteless do not have any upgrades as of yet, but I can only imagine we will see the +1 come up for him again. He did do that last game. and we see Quantel just adding on as many songs as you really can while he tanks up to Ultras once again. It looks like he's been adding quite a lot over here, just making sure he doesn't die. One scary thing is for him, he doesn't have any lurkers to deal with these units. And yeah, there we go. So we see a counterattack actually coming up from the Lings. I'm not entirely sure where the Mulus went, but he needs to bring them back home immediately. There's only 2 Sunkens finished. These Goliaths will take a lot of damage, but with range they do a decent job against them. We see some more drones transferring over here. And there's going to be a bit of a weird standoff here. The Goliath's actually in range of the Mulus. The Mulus need to run away. Looks like +1 is still not done for either player. We don't actually see any ground upgrades just yet either, but here we go. Here is the counterattack. The Vultures would have gone over to the right. He doesn't want to lose these without using any mines, but there we go. Does actually lose them. There's nothing defending back at home. He could even snipe this tank. He's going to get all of the Vultures here for free. The Lings have been baited off into the Goliath, so they will get cleaned up. But here we go. The Mulus wreaking absolute havoc in Non's base, forcing him back entirely from the Zerg's natural. Not a good place to be, but here we go, losing a lot of Mulus again is Quantel. And I believe armor should be a better choice. There we go. It depends how you're doing it. Sometimes you do go for +1 attack. Sometimes it's +1 armor. But thank you for pointing that out. I would have forgot to check. But yeah, the +1 armor is done on the Goliaths, making them a little bit stronger against the Mutalisks. I'm not sure if he will be going into any more mech upgrades. Yes, he is. This will be +1 attack. He does not yet have a starport or a science facility, so cannot go into those +2 upgrades yet. But we once again see the Goliaths just doing what they can against the Zerglings. And Quantel finding himself, unlike last game, in a 30 supply deficit. Non is doing a lot better this game, and it certainly shows. He's got a massive army here moving out onto the middle of the map once again. Looks like we actually see Ling sort of hiding around all over the place, just trying to see what he can do. Now, look at this. Quantel is trying to take this base. This is not a base he should be able to take, especially without lurkers as well. Like, how on earth is he going to stop the Terran from pushing there? It looks like he's going to go in for an attack with the army, though. He needs to be careful. He's going to lose so many Mulus. 2 of the Mulus do go down. 1 incredibly close to death. And where are his Ultras? He does have 3-0 on his Ultras at the moment, or I guess you should say 0-3. No Guardians will be on the way. There is no Spire, but here we go. Here is the hard counter to this Goliath play. A Defiler Mound is up. It's not going to be finished. He won't have Consume. And I think Quantel may unfortunately just find himself in a very bad position, maybe even losing the game from this push. +1 armor is done. Is there any bio upgrades? I can't actually click it. No bio upgrades, but no really bio upgrades needed. He just needs to try and deny for long enough for him to get his Defiler Mound, which is very, very vulnerable out. His Defilers and the Ultra should be able to deal with this, but one thing he needs to be careful of is there is the threat of the counterattacks from the other 2 bases. Looks like the Sunkens are being targeted down here by the tanks. My voice is a bit crazy today. We see the Evolution Chamber going down though. Not sure if that's his only one. It looks like he does have another in his main. I guess that will be the one getting the Carapace upgrades. Here we go. We see some drones actually transferring past the army nearly. Going around this way to actually take this out. But how is he going to engage? He's going to try and push in. Shortly, he needs to try and save the Defiler Mound, but I'm not sure he can. This is such a clinical push here by Non. He knows that all he needs to do is hold off. Looks like we actually have some Vultures here being chased by the Ultras, but here is Swarm. Swarm is done, and he pushes the Ultras up into the tanks, consuming another load of Lings, but there's just so much mech here. He needs to get the Swarms up and quickly. All the Ultras are actually going down. Swarming outside of the Ultras does get them underground, or at least under the Swarm. And he will clean up this first push. The Goliaths have been forced to retreat. They can't really do too much against the Swarm. But look at what's happening back at home. Non has got his 3rd base. He's got his 4th gas. More importantly, no, 3rd gas even. This isn't a gas base. But we do see Quantel somehow managing to get away with this base. I don't know if Nana's just not scouted it, but he could kill that pretty much at any time. We see another load of vultures just going around trying to check where the fourth base is. Yeah, we do see ground attack is finished for the mech player. Looks like he is going to go for the, I say the full mech switch, but he's had the factories already. He's floated his barracks now, added a second armory as well. The science facility is done. We see another engagement here between the vultures and the ultras. How much damage are these mines going to do? He needs to be careful. That's a lot of mines for these ultras to try and run through. But once again, I'm not too sure that Non has actually scouted that top right base here. This is kind of awkward for him, but he is trying to expand the other way. Wow, a single Ling. Actually enough to try and push these away. 1-1 is finished for the Zerglings. That means 1-3 is done for the Ultra still. We see more and more Lings going for counterattacks where they can. And you know what, here is some big mines going down on all of those Lings. Still actually managed to save some of the mines for later use. Now, Ultras against Mech are not exactly the best choice. It looks like he is going to switch into a more Mulus heavy force as well, getting +1 Carapace this time. Now this is because Goliaths do explosive damage, which isn't full damage to Mulusks, and the Carapace will help negate the +1 attack of the Goliaths there. Well, it looks like we've got another load of SUVs just transferring over. Some vultures just denying the space. Denying the space as well. Looks like they actually called the drone, trying to expand. Now, what is going to be the choice? We do have a Great Aspire now coming up for Quantel. We see the similar tech buildings. Did he lose his Defiler Mound? Yes, he did. No more Defiler Mound. Actually, he had to rebuild it in his main. We see an engagement here. There's actually not that many Goliaths. He skipped out into Tank Vulture because of the Ultras, and they're going to do so much damage here. There's no air defenses. Only actually 2 Goliaths. He could actually go and kill these. But no, here we go. The other Goliaths coming in from behind are going to be enough to push this away, if not clean this up, if he doesn't pull back quick enough. And this is such a good engagement for Non. Looks like we see a lot of scans actually going down. Looks like he's trying to scan where the army is, but strangely, I mean, he has like these 7 Ultras here with the 2 Defilers and the Mutalisks, but there's just not really any army anywhere for Quantel other than that, so kind of interesting. Looks like a drone is being stopped from taking this gas base by a single mine. For some reason, I guess he's let that go idle a little bit too long. The Realist will at least find this 5th base attempt by Non. Very importantly, he does cancel this. We'll take out the SUV immediately. Should be able to take that down as well. We see some Lings just trying to move around, clear any mines, but there's no mines there for them to clear. And just look how annoying it is. Oh my god. The 2 vultures actually blocking the Goliaths for the most part. Looks like some mines. Well, run little Ling. Oh, the Ling didn't make it. The mine goes off. All his buddies, though. Look at how many mines Lings can clear. It's kind of crazy. Looks like in the main we do have a lot of supply depots, of course. This is heading towards the late game. Up to 7 factories, just 1 starport, which is actually sitting idle. Kind of important to go for the irradiator. You need more vessels when you're going mech as well. Very important, very, very high value spell. Looks like a nice few swarms have gone down. But is this going to be enough Ultras to clean all this up? I don't think it is. There's just so many tanks. They have 2-1. Against the 1-3, no second attack upgrade. And here we go, some swarms have gone down, but there's just no units left. For Quantel, another load of Lings are actually running in. Some of them actually splitting off to go and attack the mine somehow, but here we go. A nice D-Matrix should keep this alive. And Quantel, unfortunately, finds himself nearly 100 supply behind, with no way back into the game. Is there even a single vessel on the map? I'm actually just trying to look around to see. It doesn't look like there is. Oh, there is a single one. It has enough for 1 irradiate, but here we go. It looks like he's finally scoured this top right base. A nice swarm does go down, but I don't think there's going to be enough units here. Even bringing a drone to help fight. And unfortunately for him, Quantel, I think, is going to have to tap out this game very shortly. He has quite a big bank of minerals, but it's not the minerals you need against the meching play. You need the gas, you need the extra gas, you need to be able to tech switch on the fly. And unfortunately, that's something he cannot afford. This one Firebat actually worth its weight in gold. I think he got D-Matrixed. And finally, there we go, that unit, or those units have finally gone down. This Defiler is still just swarming this ramp as much as it can. Yeah, Quantel is in dire straits right now. He's finding himself against a 5-base Terran. Looks like we do see another scan just to check the natural for any units. A nice load of vultures are moving out on the map again. And yeah, there we go. Looks like the vulture's cleaning up all those lings. We do see a lot of Ultras though. That is quite a lot of Ultra Ling pumping out of his hatcheries. But realistically, what is he going to do? They're running into mines. He needs to be careful. He's going to lose 2 Ultras to just mines before the... Wow, okay, losing a third one. Value mines there. Looks like the 2 armies are going to ignore each other. A nice counterattack on this 4th base. But Quantel is going to lose his 4th base as well. He's going to try and get a Ultras here, but it's not going to be enough. This is where Lurkers would come in real handy. And yeah, there we go. Lings are going into the 3rd base as well. Non not really dealing with this very well. There could be a huge mine drag. Oh my god, the mine drag could be huge. Not actually doing too much though. The Ultras are pushing in. They're getting stuck on the SCVs trying to mine. This is kind of funny. But wow, the mech army is actually getting cleaned up. The Ultras are now on 2-4 against the 2-2 mech army. But there we go, the Ultras, there's only 3 of them left. They've cleaned up the 3rd base of SCVs, at least for now. A lot of them did transfer away. And they have denied this 4th base for now, but this 5th base should be able to start mining. But the trouble is, look at this guys, Non is mined out of his main, mined out of his natural. His 3rd needs to start mining again, and his 4th isn't mining, and he's not mining his 5th either. So Non is actually broke. I don't know how this has happened, but Non has let himself mine out too much. He now has a force he needs to push with it, because he needs to try and at least secure some bases. But look at this, just being annoying as possible, sending units all over the map just to sort of counterattack, take out these small little bits of mech. And this is not going to be good. Quantel could actually come back in this game. I cannot believe it, but Non is just not using his army effectively. He's not defending the right locations, and he's not pushing either in the right locations either. We see Quantel is starting to mass up his units again. Do we see any additional hatcheries? We do see another additional hatchery in the main. The Great Aspire is finished. The 4th base, or the new 4th base, is nearly going to mine now. The important thing to note, Zerg mine out a lot slower than the other races, so this is actually perfectly fine for Quantel, although it does look like Non still is ahead of Mace, is finally spreading his tanks a little bit better. Looks like Quantel is going in a little bit too early. He's not going to be able to do too much damage here. There's no swarms. The Ultras are on top of the tanks, but they just immediately melt. 2-2 is finished. I can only imagine 3-3 should be on the way. And there we go. I mean, I think with that unit throw, there's not going to be too much that Quantel can do. I think if he'd have waited 4 more units, he may have been able to break the mech army. He does have his 3rd base mining. His 4th base is finally saturated. We do see a scan going down pretty much everywhere, just trying to check where the army is. And look at this Vulture. This is just such a nice move, just denying that base for as long as possible. And unfortunately, I mean, I've been calling it one way or the other the entire time, but I think Non should have actually stabilized enough now that he should be able to win this game. He's got tanks in very nice positions. You can see a defensive line here. He actually does. He only has 1 tank here. He should probably wall this off just to be safe. And yeah, he's getting this top base as well. Whoa, that's the wrong button. That's F5. F6 is the one I need. It looks like some Vultures. I just missed this, guys. I'm really sorry. Vultures have taken out all of the drones over at this 4th base. And Quantel, despite his bank, is in a lot of trouble. Another Sunken being added for some reason. You should probably cancel that. It's not really going to do too much. Some drones actually going in against the Vultures here. Going to be able to take out the Vultures now, but it's just not going to be enough. It looks like we see another scan going down by Non. Where is that? Just to check the other base. Going to send some Vultures up here to deny this. And Quantel is just in such a bad way right now. There's not really too much he can do. I mean, he's going for a big drop. This has been scouted as well. And Quantel is more than likely going to lose this game. We are most likely going to go into a 3rd game of this series. Looks like Non is doing a really good job just keeping an eye on the army. Now, this is a surprising amount of units, but look how many Lings just die immediately to mines. That is not the engagement he wants to be taking. Most of the army is already dead. The few Ultras and Lings on the floor are going in, and looks like the Overlords are even going to die before they can drop, and GG is called by Quantel. Non will tie up the series, and they'll take it to the final game on Outlier. There we go, so I'll host again, just because we can. Just to remind you guys what the next map is while I'm hosting this, let's bring up the main overlay. Hopefully it's on the right page. No, it's not. There we go. And here we go. Let's have a look here. So, A11, I've got all of the maps ready in a folder, which is quite useful. And it looks like Non just wants a 2-minute break, which is perfectly fine. So I will also take a quick 2-minute break, guys, just to make sure everything is tickety-boo. Yeah, here we go. Let's bring up the back shortly screen. I'll just edit the timer. Be 2 minutes instead of 3. And let's give my voice a rest for a moment. Okay, so it looks like I was slightly mistaken. It was in fact La Mancha. I was ignoring everything that was going on. Let's just bring up the overlay just so I can make sure we've got everything ready. Yeah, we do indeed. They are both ready, so let's get going. Let's just say go just to make sure. Looks like I've also got my cat up here as well. GLHF and GG has been called, so let's get straight into this next game. I've also got my cat here just to join in the fun. She is rubbing around my microphone, so I apologise if there's a bit of a weird noise for just a second. Up here in the top left position, did just tie up the series 1-1. It is sas.non. It's the White Terran. And up here in the top right position, we do have the Purple Zerg. SK's Quantel. It is in fact white versus purple. Let's update that. I just also need to give the win to non. There we go, everything should be perfect now. Yes, indeed it is. Richley is a Z player. Miso is HDY4545 if I remember correctly. But he's playing under his new user Soul brackets Z brackets Miso. So wait, the title says CFC 11. Oh no. There we go, I've updated the title. Okay, so we're not seeing anything too crazy, no A ranks coming out from none, just building a supply depot. This is of course a 4-player map, kind of an interesting map as well, just to sort of show you the basic map features. We see, I don't think I can actually reveal the entire map, but we see a sort of pocket third you can take with the bridge covering it, which is quite good for Zerg players to take. You can also take this 4th base as non. And of course there is the other mains as well for Quantel, but the interesting thing is, I did say we weren't seeing anything interesting, but we do see a 12 pool. Actually this may be an overpool. Overpool, 12 pool. I'm not sure what you'd class this as, but he's going to get a little bit of a later expansion, maybe even going for a lingual in here, not sending this drone to expand, sending it to scout. This could be pretty difficult actually. Apparently sas.non won the ESL Cup this week, so that does mean Quantel has his work cut out for him. We do see the barracks coming up. No expansion hatchery yet though. This is interesting. It looks like he is going to go and expand now. Yeah, we do see the drone moving there. We don't see any gas yet, so won't have any speed for this sort of lingual in. I'm not sure if he's just doing this as a extra safe build against some kind of 8 racks, but seems a bit of an overreaction. He's not going to really be able to do too much with the lings as long as they get scouted. And this SCV is coming in. It has seen the Overlord now, so it knows where he spawned. But is he going to be able to see the lings in time? I don't think he is. The SCV is going the other way. The good thing is for him, he's actually sent a second scout. This is so important. But he's sending it back home a little bit too early. He's checking for like a hidden base or some lings coming towards him, but he's not going to see them. The ling's actually hot on the tail of the SCV. Is he going to have SCVs on the ramp to defend against this? I don't know if he will. Looks like he has sniffed something out. He's pulling SCVs to the ramp. And this is so important. Now, strangely, okay, it's because his, as you can see on the minimap, his SCV did get in the main. It saw the spawning pool, so really nice pull by non. As he does now defend his ramp, and there's not really going to be able to be too much damage that Quantel can do. He's going to try and bust up. We'll lose the second ling. We see another couple of lings being added on as well. And this is going to put Quantel so behind from the very start of the game. The gas is going up. It looks like the SCV will be blocked from scouting this. Unless he can get in. Can he get in? No, he can't. So Non has lost all of his scouting information. He does have his command center going up in his main, which is not the place you really want to be building against Zerg. You need that base up as soon as possible. No gas this time, so no Goliaths. Going straight into a second barracks. Just playing super safe against what he thinks is a ling all-in. I mean, it's a ling attack, but I wouldn't really call this an all-in. He does find himself a little bit further behind than he could be, purely off the back of it though. And have I still got myself muted? No, I haven't. I did unmute myself. It's all good. I just suddenly realised I should probably check. And Hongju is offering to show me his long fur. So I don't really know what to say, because maybe if I say yes, he'll show me, but then I don't know if I want to see. It's kind of awkward, but we see the Lings going in. Non moving out again with his Marines too early. It's not StarCraft 2. You can micro the Marines against Lings, but it's not the most efficient way of doing it. And there we go. Looks like he lost another 3 or so Marines to just Lings. Does, in fact, get his 3rd base up. This SCV looks like it was going to go take another base, but, I mean, he's not going to be able to do that. He does know he's got the command center in his main, right? It looks like he does, but more Lings on the way. Quantel has spotted some weakness, has his 3rd hatchery up, Lair coming up as well. How much damage can these Lings do? There's going to be a lot of Lings. He's actually pulling back onto his ramp. He sniffs something out here. Not sure if an SCV scout actually went and saw this. The bunker's coming up as well, but that's not many Marines to be holding off these Lings. The gas is up. The Academy is on the way, so he doesn't have any Firebats or Medics yet. Looks like we do see the Lings pushing in. They're going to deny this bunker. Going to deny the expansion from going down. But that should be enough Marines to hold this back, actually. So, really nice rebuilding. It's really good for him that he actually did build that 2nd barracks, or he'd be in a lot of problems. Yeah, I do apologise. I've got an ever so slight cold. I did go to Old Trafford yesterday to watch Man United play against Brighton. I don't really follow football, but I do go with my dad sometimes. And it was a lot of fun, but it was really cold in Manchester yesterday, like insanely cold. And I think it sort of affected me a little bit. We see the 3rd barracks being ended on. Stim is on the way. Is he going to add his medics yet? I think he should realistically add them next. Just so when his Stim is done, his medics have some energy to deal with things. I've got my cat staring at me from across my desk as well, which is kind of nice, I've got to admit. But yeah, here we go. Looks like Quantel. Let's see what the tech choice is from Quantel. Nothing yet. There we go. There is the Spire. Trying to hide it a little bit better this time. Before, he was in fact just building it in his natural. Where is Non scanned? Looks like Non does scan the hatchery, but he doesn't see the tech. He sees the lair. And given the previous games, I have a feeling he's going to be scanning the natural. So he may miss the Mulus here, but the important thing to note, the engineering bay is down. Turning off the wrong thing. Yeah, it looks like he does scan the natural, so he's not going to see this as coming. The important thing is he's not seen any Hydralisks yet, though. In the entire series, in fact. Looks like the Marines, Medics, and Firebats are going to move out. This could be a very strong 3 barracks push here. Engineering bay is on the way, range is on the way, and how much damage is this push going to be able to do? And I find it kind of funny that Faust is asking. So Faust said he let Scan win, so he could see Scan play Miso. So, you know what, Faust is a good guy. That should be an entertaining series if both of them do in fact make it to the finals. There are some very strong opponents who are in the way of them this time, though. So it's not going to be as easy. Miso did win last week. I know Richley won last week even. And here's the 3-rack push. It's been activated. The Mulists have come out at perfectly the right time. But are they going to be enough to defend? The Sunkens are going down. But he's taken so much damage to his Marines. The Mulists are going to be able to clean all this up, I think. And this 3-racks push is a complete fail. Doesn't get any Sunkens. Doesn't get any drones. Does manage to take out some of the Mutalisks, but I would certainly say that was a loss for Non. Quantel is now up in supply, killing all of the medics, not even managed to save them. And once again resetting the unit count of Non here. We actually see, wow, Non is finally adding his turrets. He now knows the Mutalisks are there. And these Mutalisks could do a lot of damage. There's only 2 turrets in the natural. 3rd one is going up. Thank you, Faust, but I am not going to rename my cat to Saggy. I am very sorry, but that is not going to happen. She is 16, so she's had her name for a very long time. I wouldn't want to change it for the world, but there we go. We do have the Mutalisk just trying to fly in, do some damage. Looks like the turrets will finish in time. But given the fact he's lost so many units, he's actually having to overbuild on turrets now. And this is actually going to give Quantel the chance to take this all-important 3rd base down here in the bottom left. Now, the thing that surprises me the most about Quantel is he takes the bottom mains, like the other mains. This is very important for Zerg in CVT, but usually, because you go for lurkers and defend the ramp, But Quantel has got this thing about building no Hydralisk. Looks like we finally do actually have a Hydralisk in this game. So maybe playing a little bit more standard. Nice to see, actually. Looks like the Mutalists are going to hide behind the Natural for now. Do we have a Hive on the way? No, not just yet. Looks like a single SCV scout is going to see this base, though. Looks like the Mutalists are going to move in. How much damage can they do? Not too much. Really nicely placed turrets, actually. We'll lose at least a couple of SCVs, but does do a lot of damage to the Mutalists, even taking out one, so not the best control by Quantel here. Looks like we just see some Overlords down here. And just the SCV scout moving around again. Non is actually this time scanning the main again, or the natural even. And all importantly, this time he actually does see there's Hydralisk in place, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful. He can't just run around the map like he has been. There should be, at least, lurkers on the field at some point. Looks like none of them are morphing yet. Wow. Even adding a missile turret at the ramp just to make sure he can't get trapped in by lurkers, that is incredibly clever, actually. It does help buffer against the Mutalists too. Here come the Mutalists, one of them actually gonna find this turret. I'm guessing he's gonna be a bit confused here. Looks like we do see some Lings moving in as well. Is this gonna be enough? The hatchery is almost certainly going to die. He may even lose all his Mutalists trying to defend it. Not the best of trades for him. Okay, here we go. Wow, the turret actually gets taken down by the Lings, so good move by him. Do we see any lurkers? Yes, we do. 4 lurkers out on the field. Another set of bio is actually coming up at the front, of course. This is the reinforcements. A scan does go down. It sees no lurkers back at home. This counterattack could do so much damage. There's not really any units here to defend. The bunkers are now finishing. But this is 4 lurkers, a lot of muters, and some Lings as well. They're going to be able to push in. Are they going to be able to kill the bio, though? He needs to be careful. He needs to get them before they get in the bunker. Can he actually see these lurkers? Yes, he can. The bunkers are going to be worth their weight in gold here. But all of his army is actually out of position right now. It's at the possible third base, and these lurkers are actually pushing in. They've taken out two of the bunkers, but not the best of trades. And Rota, I'm still not, thank you very much, but I'm still not going to rename my cat. But we see this tank is able to clean up this, and Quantel once again throwing away his entire army. We actually see some Lings down here. I thought this would be some Hydralisks, but this army from Non, outside the front of Quantel's natural, could do a lot of damage. And they're having cheering wars right now in stream chat between Faust and Rota just to try and keep themselves as the top cheer. So thank you very much, guys. We see the bio coming in. There's no lurkers here to actually defend. No Mutalists either. At least not enough, should I say. 1-0 is done for the bio, and it's just tearing through absolutely everything that Quantel has. This is the problem when you throw away your entire army. GG is called, and Non does take out Quantel in this first round. This was only the first round games, guys, in this best of 3.